Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you a massive book haul. I have about 27 new and used books that I've gotten probably over the last month from a bunch of different places. So let's show you what I got. All right, these first three I think we actually got on Indie Bookstore Day, so it's been a little bit, but I didn't think I shared on the channel that I had purchased them. I did put them in this one in a vlog. So I finally got Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, the first book in the Boys of Tommen series. I have a whole vlog of me reading this book, so I will link that above and below if you're interested in reading along and saw what I thought of it. Didn't exactly live up to the hype, but still enjoyable read, so I was happy to pick that up. Hidden Pictures, this was I think a 5-star read for me. We actually purchased it because my husband wants to read it. So this is a horror novel that we got used for $14, but perfect condition, hardback. And then this was a 5-star read for me. And this one I also talked about in my standalones that I always will recommend, which I'll link that video below and above. And yeah, this is a horror that's basically about someone that's hunting final girls. So final girls are someone that is a girl, the last girl standing, the sole survivor of like a massacre or a serial killer or something. So we finally got this in physical because my husband wants to read it. So these books I didn't get, they were just random bookstore buys. This one I got from Barnes & Noble, King of Greed, and this one is not, some of these I buy because they're not in my library, so I feel like, okay, well I should buy them because I can't get them otherwise if I don't buy them. So the King of Greed, this is the Kings of Sin book 3, and this is basically a second chance romance. And apparently it's like supposed to be a big grovel, and I love a good grovel second chance romance, so I thought I would just grab this one when I found it at Barnes & Noble. And then I did get Keeping 13 because I wanted to keep reading Johnny and Shannon's story, which I realized in my vlog I kept calling her Sharon. So some of that I was able to cut out, so I don't think some of it I was able to. But yeah, I'm going to continue reading their story, so I managed to pick this up. And then the next, well actually I'll start this one. This one, this was an Amazon buy, On the Edge of Daylight by Giselle Beaumont. And this was a Instagram marketing bite. It's basically a Titanic retelling with Murdoch and then a fictional female first officer, and it's a love story. And guess what? It's probably going to have a sad ending. Spoiler alert, the Titanic does not end well. So people have just said how much they love this book. I've heard such good things about it. Very underrated, and haven't heard many people talk about it, but people that have talked about it have loved it. I love a good like Titanic based novel, so I'm so excited to read this. Ooh, I can't wait to read this one. All right, so next let's do Free Little Library haul. So I've gotten 4 books recently from our local Free Little Library. The first one is Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. Obviously this is a seasonal read. This is about Christmas. I know Tessa Bailey. Probably have read some of her stuff, but I can't put my finger on it right now. Yeah, but I actually don't even know what it's about. But I thought it's like a seasonal romance rom-com that I can read during the holidays. So I thought, why not? I'll get it. Cute cover too. All right, I got 2 Frida McFadden. I've never read a Frida McFadden book, but I've heard so much about her that I was like, oh, maybe, this would be, I'll pick them up since they're there because I've heard so much about them. I know their big one is, which is her big one? Anyway, The Housemaid, that's what it is. I knew it was on one of these. All right, so I got The Coworker. Don't know anything about it, but author was notable, so I grabbed that one. And One by One. If you've read any of these books, if you've read them, let me know what you thought. But specifically the Frida McFadden, the 2 books, I really know nothing. I haven't read her books before, but they were a little bit, I was trying to like keep my eye on it. I was like, yeah, I should probably read some more books. And then there they go, 2 at my Free Little Library. And then I got Rules of Magic, which I heard is part of like the Practical Magic series. This was just like rang a bell for me, so I picked it up. I don't even know what it's about or if I'm going to read it. If I might put it back in the Free Little Library if I find like it's not for me, but for the moment I just grabbed it. So the rest of this haul is all from a local library sale. So my local library does a book sale, like I've donated books 3 times a year. And so on a recent Saturday morning, I went. It opened at 9, and all the books are $1. And then like the smaller paperbacks are 50 cents. I didn't get any of those. So everything I got here, I paid $1 for. So $17 for 17 books. And let me tell you, it was like putting chum in shark-infested waters. It really wasn't. I was happy with what I got, and at the end it was a good experience, but during it, it was actually kind of stressful, and people were not like particularly friendly. Like they were like really like aggressive about grabbing the books they wanted, or just books. Like I feel like there was like probably a lot of resellers there, and yeah, I don't know. I think I would be more prepared next time I go, because even when I got there, it was a big long line to get in. So I went previously, and then like on the Sunday they do like a $5 per bag day. So you get like a paper bag, you can fill it for $5, but then a lot of it's picked over if you're looking for certain kinds of books. So that's why I wanted to go on the Saturday first thing, and I really made out. I was shocked, but okay, we'll get into the books that I got from the sale. As I said, people were like kind of really pushy and like grabbing books, like, I don't know, like they were going out of style, but I waited around a little bit, and I like went through the tables a couple of times because there's always people in front of you and you had to feel like you had to look quickly. So I just did a couple rounds of the room, and luckily they put a few more books out while I was like, once the first initial rush ran out. So when those like people came in and like just tried to take everything, a few books came out after that they couldn't get their hands on. And one of them was this Woven Kingdom. This is the first book of the series. This is on my TBR, and I was really excited to grab this for $1. They're all $1, but and so this is one of the ones they put out a little bit after, and I was glad because I know that if I had this had been out initially in like the first go around before I even got in the building, this would have been gone. So yeah, I was really excited to get this because it's on my TBR. Next, we have Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Jane Austen's one of my favorite authors. This is my second favorite book of hers. My first is Persuasion, which I already own, but I have in the past, but I don't currently own Sense and Sensibility. So I thought for $1, I will pick that up and add that to my shelf. Now this one I just grabbed because I recognized it, and I think it's a book 2, which is like Bookshops and Bone Dust. I think it's like the lattes and whatever. You all that's watching this, you'll be like, that book, you don't know this book? Yeah. It's a companion novel, or it's a sequel or something. Or it's like a Legends and Lattes, yeah. So it's either a sequel to that, or it's in the same world, or whatever. But I definitely recognized it, and I thought, oh, I might be interested in that. So I just that's kind of how it was. Like if you were like even remotely interested in it, you had to pick it up. So yeah, so I just like for $1, I will look into this, and I know it's a popular series, so maybe I'll be interested in it. The next book I got has actually been on and off my TBR for years, and that is The Devil in the White City. And this is about the serial killer H.H. Holmes. I think I'm saying that right. And yeah, but during like the Chicago World Fair, he like killed a bunch of people. And yeah, this is, like I said, this has been on my TBR off and on. I just never got the chance to read it, and I thought, okay, it's here for $1, so I'm gonna read this. And yeah, now it's finally gonna be back on my TBR. Oh, right. So the next, this is so funny because we were at a bookstore the night before this sale, and I saw this book, and I remember like people had been talking about it, and I was like, oh, I've heard that's really good. And what do you know? It was at the book sale the next day for $1. The Poppy War. So I know people have talked about this. They love it. I don't even know what it's about, but I decided to pick it up. And I think these are the other 2 books in the series were also there. So I thought I better grab them now, the whole series. Well, the first 3 books at least. Again, I don't know much about this series. For $3, I might as well. So yeah, let me know if you've read The Poppy War. I've heard good things, but I actually don't even know what it's about. But I think I got the first 3 books in the series. So it's The Poppy War, the Dragon Republic, and The Burning God. And The Burning God does say book 3 on it. Yeah. Read the Poppy War trilogy. Okay, so this seems to be like the whole trilogy. So that's fun. They're all together, and I just grabbed them all. So the whole trilogy for $3. So I grabbed this horror because, no light, no air, no escape. 100 of Feet Beneath the Ocean Surface, A Graveyard Awaits. Ooh, yeah, I didn't even know that. But so I picked this up because of the author, Darcy Coates. I've read 2 of her books, which I enjoyed. They were like kind of like haunted house books. I think one was like Craven Manor and the other one was Gallows Hill, I think, which I enjoyed. So I haven't read this one and I like the author, so I thought I should grab it. This book I already have, but I got it from a Free Little Library and it's kind of worse for wear, the copy I have. So I decided to pick the nicer copy up for $1 and then I'm going to give back the one I had to the Free Little Library. So this was just replacing like a not as nice copy that I had. Okay, so I love the Selection series and my friend had given it to me to read and I read it and she was like, oh, I don't want them back. So, you know, donate them or whatever. So I gave them to another friend to read and then they just like passed them on. Like as I said, like, oh, you can do whatever you want with them. And then as the years have gone by, I've thought back on that series and I'm like, man, I wish I didn't get rid of that. Cause like I actually really, again, hindsight, wish I would have kept them. So I went a little bit of a way to rectifying that mistake. And there's 5 in the original series and there's one, or at least one, like companion, like sequel kind of related story, which is Happily Ever After. So I got the Crown and the Heir, I think are the last 2 of the series. So I know they're on the back of one of these. Yeah. So I still have to get the Selection, the Elite, and the One. So the Heir and the Crown I have, and these are the last 3 of the series. So I have to get the first 3. So yeah, I'll keep my eye out if I can find a good deal on the first 3, and then I'll have my collection back again. All right. So a nonfiction book I got was Educated by Tara Westover. I loved this. Is like such a good nonfiction, like a memoir. Like it's so good. It was a 5-star read for me, and I thought, hey, I picked it up for $1. I'll add it to my bookshelf. I just really related to her a lot, especially around her experience with estrangement from her parents. I got her. I feel like she got me and I got her in that way. So yeah, I just loved this and I recommend it a lot as far as nonfiction goes. So I thought for $1, I will add it to my shelf. Next, The Martian. My husband and I love Andy Weir, and we actually weirdly didn't own this. I think I talked about in my like moving all my books to LA video. I'm like, I thought we had The Martian, but I guess we don't. Yeah, we didn't. So for $1, we're actually going to add it to our shelf. I think that I had read it. Like I got it from the library. I think we borrowed it from someone for my husband to read, and then I just had thought that we had it. So. I mean, I'm not a big fan of like the movie cover, but whatever. It was $1 and we can add it to our shelves. Oh, right. So the next one is Jojo Moyes 1+1. I love her books. I've read a lot of them. I actually don't even remember if I've read this one, but I just thought I'd grab it. It was a library book that they kind of like retired. So it's withdrawn from the records from the public library. It's from the Mid-Continent Public Library, Independence, MO, Montana. So it's been withdrawn from that library, like taken out of service. But I didn't realize, which is fine, who cares? But it's like the big wide print. It's like the big large print. But anyway, I like pretty much everything I've read of Jojo Moyes, and I just couldn't remember. Again, in that situation, it was like, if you are relatively interested in it, put it in your bag because it'll not be there when you like turn your back. So I was just like grabbing anything I thought was interesting, and then I just put back. I took a minute, like found a corner and took a minute, and then put something back if I didn't want it. But I think I kept everything. But I thought for $1, I would get this. And then I got Atonement, which I've seen the movie. I've never read the book, and it's funny that of course I knew it was a book, but I recently saw an Instagram video of Taylor Jenkins Reid, and she was talking about her favorite love stories, and like this was like one of her top ones, and I was like, oh yeah, I should probably read that because I know it's like a really good book and all that. And there it was for $1. So I decided to add that. And then last but not least is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I think I have tried to start this once and just didn't. I don't remember why. I just didn't finish it. I DNF'd it for whatever reason, but I thought, I'm going to get it for $1 and give it another try. All right, those were all my books. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you thought, if you want to read any of them. All right, so that's all from me today. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And please, if you put notifications on, you will get a notification when we start our reading sprints, reading and productivity sprints, which are twice a week. We have a great little community in there. We can talk books or whatever, and you can get housework done or read or homework or whatever. We have people doing all kinds of things, being productive in there. And then we also have a Discord, which will be below, where we can chat about books and life in between sprints. So that's been really fun. Yeah, that's all for me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.